We are going to start in tabletop position, so all fours or hands and knees. So go ahead and come to all fours and stack the shoulders right over your wrists and hips right over your knees. And spread the fingers nice and wide without overstretching them. Press into the hands, keep the elbows straight without locking them. And I'm going to flow through some cat-cows here. So as you breathe in, lift your chest and arch your spine, drop the belly, squeeze the shoulders. Then as you exhale, reverse. So round your spine, push the ground, drop the head and tuck your chin to your chest. Keep moving like this. So breathe in, lift your chest for cow pose. And as you exhale, round your spine for cat pose, push the ground away. Again, breathe in, lift your chest. And breathe out, arch your spine, push the ground. Inhale, cow pose, squeeze the shoulders, shoulders back. And as you exhale, round your spine, push the ground. And do a few more rounds here at your own pace. You might go faster, you might go slower, you might add any movement that feels good to you here. And then one last round on your own. And then when you're ready, come to a neutral spine and now move your hands a little bit forward of the shoulders. Begin to tuck your toes under, press into the hands, and then start to lift your knees, lift your hips up and back into a downward facing dog. And then since this is your first downward facing dog, you might keep your knees bent and your heels lifted. And then prioritize the lengthening of the torso by pushing the ground away. Relax your head and relax your neck. Keep drawing the navel in towards your spine. So keep that activation of the core center. So knees a little bit bent, and then give yourself a few more deep breaths here. You might pedal out through your feet, so you bend one knee and then the other. Couple more breaths. And then as you happen to inhale, roll forward into a plank pose, upward push-up. So stack shoulders over your wrists and then press the hands into the mat. See that you're especially pressing into the inner hand, so the index finger and thumb. Keep your neck neutral. Keep drawing the navel in towards your spine so that you avoid overarching the lower back. On the next exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Breathe here. And then we're going to move like that on the breath. So as you breathe in, roll into plank pose, nice and slow like a wave. Come forward. And then as you exhale, press back, downward facing dog. As you breathe in, come forward to plank pose. As you breathe out, press back, downward facing dog. We'll do two more like this. Plank pose on the inhale. Downward dog on the exhale. Press back. Last one, come forward to plank pose as you breathe in. And downward facing dog as you breathe out. Stay here. Now start to move your hands back to meet your feet. Just let the heels come down to the ground. And then here, bend your knees deeply. So bend your knees enough to let you rest your torso on the thighs. So bend the knees deeply and then move your weight a little bit into the balls of your feet. So more towards the toes. You might feel the stretch a little bit more along the back of the legs. Let the upper body dingle very heavy on the legs. You can let the arms dingle, or you can grab opposite elbows if that feels nice. You might sway from one side to the other. Let the head be heavy, neck heavy, shoulders heavy. Everything heavy here, just letting the legs support you. And then switch the crossing of the elbows if you got that variation. And now let the arms fall to the ground, and then slowly you're going to make your way up to stand so that the head is the very last thing that comes up. So stacking everything on top of each other as you roll up to stand, nice and slow. And once you come up, come to the top of your mat. And once you're there, bring your feet parallel so the heels are aligned with the second and third toe. So feet pointing straight forward. So find that neutral shape, also known as mountain pose. Let your arms rest by your sides with your palms facing up. As you're here, feel the connection of your feet pressing into the ground. So ground through all four corners of your feet. Engage your thighs and then draw the belly in. So draw the ribs in. Allow your chest to lift slightly and then soften the shoulders down the back. Reach the crown of your head up to the ceiling, and at the same time feel like you're rooting heavily onto the ground. So notice that opposition of the crown of the head lifting up to the ceiling as you root down through the feet. Couple of more breaths here, just feeling the ground. And then we're going to move into half sun salutations, also known as sun breaths. So sun salutations without downward dog and without the plank pose. And don't worry, we are going to get there, but just as a warm up. So go ahead and reach your arms forward and up and over the ears. And then as you exhale, soften the knees and fold forward over your legs. As you breathe in, take your hands to the shins or thighs, flat back, shoulders back. As you exhale, refold to the ground. As you breathe in, come right back up, lift the arms all the way up and by the ears. Then as you exhale, hands together to your heart. So that's one round. We'll do 3 more. Inhale, lift the arms up and over the ears. As you exhale, fold forward over your legs. As you breathe in, halfway lift, hands to shins or thighs, flat back. As you exhale, fold forward. As you inhale, come all the way back up, lift the arms up and over. As you exhale, hands together to your heart. 2 more rounds. Breathe in, lift the arms up and over your ears. As you exhale, fold forward over your legs. As you breathe in, halfway lift, hands to shins or thighs, shoulders back. As you exhale, refold to the ground. As you inhale, come right back up, lift the arms up, reach. As you exhale, hands together to your heart. Last one here, inhale, lift the arms up and over. As you exhale, fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift, hands to shins or thighs, breathe in. As you exhale, refold to the ground. As you inhale, come all the way back up, lift the arms up. And as you exhale, hands together to your heart. Now full sun salutation. So inhale, lift the arms all the way up and over. As you exhale, fold forward over your legs. As you breathe in, halfway lift. Now as you exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands on the ground. Step back to plank pose, upward push-up. Take a breath in. As you exhale, lower all the way down to the ground. As you inhale, point your toes and activate the legs so much you might notice your knees come off the ground. Hands directly underneath your shoulders. Point your elbows back. And as you breathe in, lift your chest for baby cobra pose. So only baby cobra for the first one here. Draw the shoulders back. Look right in front of you. And then as you exhale, fold, lower the chest back down. Press back to hands and knees. And then downward facing dog. So move your hands forward, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Breathe here, keep your knees a little bit bent. Then you can always straighten the legs as you see best. Just know that it's not necessary. You can always keep your knees bent and the heels lifted. Head heavy. Keep drawing the navel in towards your spine. One more deep breath here. Now bend the knees deeply, lift the heels and look forward between the hands. Either take a walk or hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. And fold forward as you exhale. As you breathe in, lift the arms all the way up and over your ears. As you exhale, hands together at your heart. 2 more rounds. So breathe in, lift the arms all the way up and over your ears. As you exhale, fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift as you inhale. Now bend your knees, plant your palms, step back to plank pose. Take a breath here. As you exhale, lower all the way down to the ground. Point your toes, activate the legs, hands underneath your shoulders. Breathe in for cobra pose. Pause here. Then as you exhale, lower the chest back down. Press back to hands and knees, and then downward facing dog. Deep breath in, and deep breath out. Now bend your knees deeply, look forward between the hands, either walk or hop. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. As you inhale, come all the way up and over. As you exhale, hands together to your heart. Last one here. Inhale, lift the arms up and over. As you exhale, fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift, breathe in. As you exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Take a breath, breathe in. This time maybe all the way down to the ground, perhaps halfway down. If you're ready for chaturanga, bend your elbows, point them back. Inhale, up dog or cobra, breathe in. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Now lift the heels, bend the knees and look forward between the hands. And then step or float up to meet your hands. Come halfway up as you breathe in. And then fold as you breathe out. Come all the way back up as you inhale. As you exhale, hands together at your heart. Pause here, mountain pose, Tadasana. So top of the mat, feet parallel, arms by your sides with your palms facing forward. Close the eyes and take a quick moment to just feel the breath here. Keep the shoulders soft. Now bring your feet together to touch, so the big toes touch and you have a little bit of a space between the heels. Bend your knees and sit into a chair pose. Sweep your arms forward and up. But know that you don't have to sink way deep here into a chair pose. As long as you keep hugging the thighs in, as if you had a block in between your thighs and you were squeezing that block. And then you're going to sink your hips, but at the same time, reach up through your fingers. So notice that opposition of reaching up and sinking the hips towards the ground. Keep your gaze forward so that your neck stays neutral. We'll take 2 more breaths in chair pose. You got it. Again, breathe in. Now as you exhale, fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift, inhale. Now bend your knees, plant your hands. This time go straight back into downward facing dog. So we're going to skip plank pose unless you want a little bit more heat. Otherwise, downward facing dog here. Take a nice deep breath in. And deep breath out. Now bend your knees deeply, lift the heels and look forward between the hands. Now step your right foot forward between the hands. Yeah. So keep the back heel lifted for now and walk the right foot about 2 inches to the right so that it's closer to the right hand. Yeah. Now spin the back heel at an angle, so about a 45-degree angle on the back foot. And then sweep your arms forward and up, coming up into warrior 1 position. So back heel is at an angle, about a 45-degree angle, not a 90-degree angle to the left, but about a 45 degrees. So the left toes almost face the top left corner of your mat. Right foot points straight forward and see if you can wrap the right hip towards the back and your left hip forward. So both of your hip bones, those 2 little hip bones, see if they can bring them to face the front of the room. Reach up through your fingers and then draw the navel in. 1 more breath here. And then as you exhale, lower your hands down to the ground, frame the right foot with your hands, lift the back heel, and then come to downward facing dog. Press back, breathe in. And breathe out. As you inhale, roll forward into plank pose. As you exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Now hands right underneath your shoulders, come up into Cobra. And then as you exhale, lower the chest back down. Press back to hands and knees, and then downward facing dog. Breathe here, inhale, and exhale. All right, right leg up and back. Yes, so we're still on the right side. Take the right leg up and back into a downward dog split. As you happen to exhale, step the foot forward between the hands. Now, if your foot gets stuck in the middle, just grab the foot and walk it there. This time, keep the back heel lifted. So as if you were pressing the back heel into a wall, start to get light through your fingers. So come onto your fingertips, get light through your hands, and now reach your arms forward and up, coming into a high crescent lunge. So reach up through your fingers. And then same as your warrior one, draw the navel in, draw the ribs in, and see how the front of your hips lift up. So increase that space between your right hip and your right thigh. Take 2 more breaths here, high crescent lunge. Now as you exhale, lower your hands down, frame the right foot with your hands. This time step the back foot forward to meet the right. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. As you breathe in, come all the way up, lift the arms up. As you exhale, hands together at your heart. Rest your arms down by your sides, palms face forward. Coming back to mountain pose. Feel the breath here. Now bring your feet together to touch. Come back into chair pose. Bend the knees and sink your hips. We're going to take this into a twist now. So take your hands together at your heart. Breathe in. Now twist to your left, so bring the left upper arm to the right outer thigh. Sink the hips as you point the right elbow up. Keep squeezing the thighs as if you were squeezing that block in between the thighs. 2 more breaths. Now as you inhale, come back to center, chair pose. Breathe in. Now hands together at your heart, twist to your left. So right upper arm, left outer knee into that same chair twist on the left. Sink your hips and squeeze the thighs here. Keep drawing the navel in. You got it. Take 2 more deep breaths. And now come back to center, chair pose. Inhale. Fold forward as you exhale. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Now bend your knees, plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog, press back. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Now we're going to do that on the left side. So bend your knees deeply. Lift the heels and look forward between your hands. Step your left foot forward between the hands. And then walk your left foot a couple of inches towards the left so that the foot is closer to your left hand. And now spin the back heel at an angle, a 45-degree angle. And then when you're ready, lift your arms forward and up into warrior one. Reach up through your fingers. So check in with the back foot. Really energize the back leg here. Press into the back foot. Drawing the navel in. You got it. 2 more breaths. Warrior 1. And exhale. 1 more inhale. And exhale. Now on your next exhale, lower your hands down, frame your left foot. Lift the back heel. Press back, downward facing dog. Breathe here. And now come forward to plank pose. As you exhale, lower all the way down to the ground. Point your toes, hands underneath your shoulders, come up into little cobra pose, elbows point back. Lift your chest, draw the shoulders back. And then as you exhale, lower back down. Press back to hands and knees, and then back to your downward facing dog. Press back. Breathe here, a couple of breaths. Now left leg up and back, downward dog split. Then as you exhale, step your left foot forward between your hands. Keep the back heel lifted as if you were pressing the back heel into a wall. Start to get light through your hands by coming onto your fingertips. Get light through the hands, belly in, and then reach your arms forward and up into a high crescent lunge. So this is same as your warrior 1, except that the back heel is lifted. So now you got to work on that balance. Keep the back leg nice and active. 1 more breath here. Reach up through the fingers, gaze forward. Now lower your hands down, frame your left foot. Now step the back foot forward to meet your left. Halfway lift, inhale. And fold forward as you exhale. All the way up and over, breathe and lift the arms up. As you exhale, hands together at your heart. Pause here, notice the breath. Arms by your sides, palms face forward. Mountain pose. Just feel the connection of your feet and the ground. Close the eyes and notice what's happening in your body and mind. And now lift the arms up and over your ears. Inhale. As you exhale, fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift, breathe in. This time bend your knees, plant your hands, step back to a plank pose. Take a breath here. Now lower all the way down to the floor. Reach your arms back by your sides and turn one cheek to the mat. Let the body rest in neutral. You can also make a little pillow with your hands and rest your head, rest your forehead on your hands. And now reach your arms back by your sides. Bring your palms to face down to the ground. So that's going to allow your chest to open and your shoulders to go back. Zip your legs together and center the heels behind you. Now as you breathe in, lift everything off the ground. So lift your chest, your arms, your legs, your head. Keep your gaze down so that the neck stays neutral. So lift from the inner seams of your thighs. 2 more breaths here. And then lower everything back down. Turn the opposite cheek to the mat. And I will do that once more. So zip your legs together as if you had a zipper in between your legs. Center your heels. Arms back by your sides with your palms facing down. So the thumbs face out towards the sides. And then as you breathe in, lift everything off the ground. Chest, arms, legs. Couple more breaths here. And as you exhale, lower everything back down. Turn the opposite cheek to the mat. And rest here. Now press back towards child's pose. So press back to hands and knees. Bring your big toes to touch. Just press your hips back and rest your forehead on the mat. You can reach your arms forward or reach them back by the sides. Breathe here and notice the breath. Couple of more breaths here. Now lift your torso up and just swing your legs around and in front of you. So we're going to come to lie down on the back. So lie down onto your back and bend your knees. Once you get there, bend your knees so the soles of your feet are on the ground. Step your feet as wide as the mat and bring the knees together. Just let your back be neutral here. When you're ready, hug your knees into your chest. Take a nice deep breath in and deep breath out. And I want to take a reclined twist. So bring both knees to the right so that the knees align with the hips. And then reach your left arm to the left so the chest faces towards the ceiling. Curl the knees in towards the chest. Breathe here. Now bring your knees back to center and then go over to the left. So knees to the left, right arm to the right, turn your chest, face the ceiling. And come back to center. Hug your knees in. And I'm going to come into ankle to knee stretch. So bring your feet on the ground again and bring your right ankle to the left thigh and find a figure 4 shape. So right ankle, left thigh, flex your right foot. And this is variation number 1. So you might stay right here or you could thread the needle. So you can interlace your fingers behind your left thigh and pick the left foot off the ground. So figure 4 stretch. And see that the shoulders remain soft. so you're not pulling the shoulders off the ground too much. And then the more you pull that left thigh in towards you, the more you're going to feel that stretch. So go at your own capacity here. And then release both feet on the ground. And then other side, so left ankle to the right thigh, and find that figure 4 shape. If you did on the other side, you stayed with this variation, or you can thread the needle. So interlace your fingers behind your right thigh and pick the right foot off the ground and breathe here. And then go ahead and release, hug your knees into your chest. A nice deep breath in and deep breath out. And now rock yourself up to sit and find a comfortable seated position. So cross your shins. You can also do this sitting in a chair. I'm going to do a little breathing and meditation practice. So take your time and find your comfortable seat. And once you do that, soften the shoulders and lift your chest slightly. Draw the belly in and sit nice and tall. So reach the crown of your head up to the ceiling as you root the hips down into the ground. And now just bring your awareness into your breathing. Notice your inhales, notice your exhales. Try not to change the breath. Simply let it be however it is right now, and you're simply observing it. A few more moments here, just observing the natural flow of breath. Now we're going to start to deepen the breath. So we're going to breathe in for 5 counts and we'll breathe out for 5 counts. If that's too deep of a breath for you, you can do 4 counts or you can even do 3 counts. So go at your own pace. So whenever you're ready, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. When you're ready, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. When you're ready, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going like this at your own pace. So inhaling for 5, hold it for a couple of seconds if you can, and then exhale for 5. Keep going at your own pace, a few more rounds on your own. And when you're ready, come back into your natural breath. Let the breath be normal. And again, practice breath awareness. So notice the natural flow of breath. Notice the breath as it goes in and out through your nostrils. And then when you're ready, take a nice deep breath in and deep breath out. And we're gonna finish with Shavasana. So come to lie down on your back, and you might actually want to set up your timer and just decide how long you want your Shavasana to be. I recommend 5 to 10 minutes, but whatever you can do today, set up your timer because I'm going to leave you right here on your own. So go ahead and lie down on your back once you got your timer set up. And lie down onto your back and get comfortable. So bring your feet as wide as the mat, heels in, toes out, arms by your sides with your palms facing up. Let your body be heavy. You might start your relaxation here by just bringing awareness to the connection of your body and the ground. Right, and feel free to stay here as long or as little. And namaste.